Date Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. And we're going to pretend that it's not after midnight, and we're going to pretend that it's still Sunday, November 23rd. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Wisconsin in the United States. And we're going to pretend it's still Sunday, November 23rd at like 11:59 p.m. So I'm back home. I'm not on the road anymore. And I'm still getting things unpacked because when I got home, I had to spend some time with my granddaughter, of course, because she was with Papa. And we had to take her back by her mom. And then when we got home, I don't even know what I did for a little while, but then I took a nap. And it was a good nap. So let me get my devices up and going. We'll see if anybody joins me live. And we'll get going. So I am still unpacking, of course. So let's see if I have announcement stuff handy. Let's see here. I can show you one of the things we did today at our little crafting retreat, and it was not at all card related. And mine obviously still needs to be finished. But my friend Jill coordinated this retreat, and she had these coffee cans, metal coffee cans that were flattened. Her husband helped her flatten them, and then we painted them with, I don't know what, chalk paint. We painted them with chalk paint, and she had these tissue things. So Juju, I know you and some of the other gals that do junk journaling would probably love this little vintage thing on here. So this was tissue paper. I don't know where she got it from. But we did Mod Podge, and we put the tissue paper on. And then she had these little beads that she did some kind of copper paint brushing on them. I don't even know what, she told me, but I don't remember what it was. But then I added she had some glitter paste or something. So I added that on my little girl. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. The little glimmer. I don't usually do glitter stuff, but it was actually really cute, and it doesn't come off. It dried really good on there. So I thought that would be just a fun addition to the flocking or the furry parts on her jacket. But I thought this was so cute. And then there's a styrofoam block that we put inside. And then she gave me some of these add-on pieces to put inside. And they'll probably need to go like this. And I'll just stick them in the styrofoam when I'm really ready to make it look like something fun. And I'll trim these down a little bit into multiple pieces. And then it'll just be this cute little, I might do it as a door hanger, like a doorknob hanger. But she had this wrapped wire too with the bells on it that was super cute. So we did that this morning. And she and I were the only ones left this morning. The other gals left last night and earlier today. So she and I were the last hurrah crafters in her group. So that was fun. Let me get that out of the way. And let me go see if I can find some of my announcements. I know we've got the brushed in beauty, the online class, and I did the layout cutting. Hello, Tanya, welcome. I did some of the cutting of the layout for that, so I'll be working on some of those things this week. I did some scrapbooking stuff today. I finished a bunch of kits. And then let's show these things. I had so much fun with you gals last night. It was hilarious. So these were from Friday night. And then these, and this is from the Wrapped in Cheer November Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I figure I'm probably only going to make a couple of them into the boxes. But these appear to be food safe boxes because they're coated on the inside. I would probably never put unwrapped baked things in there, but somebody might. So those were those two boxes. And then last night we were making these alternatives. And I thought I would do one more alternative tonight because I had forgotten to grab these dies, which is a reminded add-on for the October, November, December paper pumpkin kits. So I'm going to try to case another card and probably just do one because even though I took a really good nap, I don't think I've rested enough. So we'll probably do that. So let's get some of this stuff squared away. And I know we talked about adding a bow. I think a red bow, maybe onto either one of these. I don't remember. So although this is cherry cobbler and this is red, that may or may not work, but I'll play with those later. And I think I have most of my things at least within arm's reach to make some cards. But I did want to find my announcement sheet, so hang on just a second. Oh, I don't know where they are. I still have my travel trunk with some of my crafting things to unwrap. So we're just gonna, who knows what, we'll do something else. Hello, Susan Johnson from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome. I'm still getting settled back into not being on the road anymore. So I am going to take another picture of these cards to put on my Facebook page because the one that I posted when we were done last time, it was really dark and I didn't have an overhead light without some shadows. So this one was an absolute hoot that you gals had me cracking up so bad because I couldn't, so good. I mean, laughing is good. I couldn't figure out what you ladies were asking me or telling me, rather, to do. So that was a struggle. It was a struggle bus last night, but I love all three of these cards that we worked on together. So we're going to do another one similar to this today. And I don't know, maybe we should do a little reverse imagery and maybe do a white background and use these as masks. It may or may not work. So let me see if I can find some white cardstock. And then I thought I would cut out the joy and we're going to use this tag. So let's pull those pieces out right away. So how is everybody tonight? So Melbourne, you're already at like 5 o'clock in the evening on Monday. Is that right? I put a little note for myself that you are 17 hours ahead of me. 15, 16, 17. So that should be like 5 o'clock-ish p.m., I think, if my math is right. So I'm going to set these kind of up here a little bit. Those are just such pretty cards. And let's pull out some white and let's see if I can find a blending brush for the Mossy Meadow. So many things. but I found it. So here's our cherry cobbler. Here's our mossy meadow. Real red, garden green. Okay, I'll just put those over here. 5:10 p.m. Monday. 1 month until Christmas Eve. Oh my goodness. You're right. I hadn't even noticed that. Ah. That's all right. It'll be all good. All good. Let me find some white. All right, I found white. I found my trimmer. And I'm going to trim this down to a layer size. Oh, maybe we should do the perennial postage dies again. Let's just see what this is. This is 8.5. So let's cut this at 4 1/4, just so it's in half. When I'm gone like this, I feel like it takes me a little bit to get back in the groove of being home. And then let me find the perennial postage dies. I know I put them where they belong. Whoops. My little bin just tipped over. I think that's the size we used for that. All right. Put that away. So I don't go tripping on stuff. All right, I think we're good. All right, that was just a little top heavy and I hadn't pushed it back far enough. So let's do our brushing first, our ink blending, and see how that works out. So how was your Monday, Susan? Hello, Donna. I hear another package shifting. I think my cardstock might be wanting to fall over too. We're going to use, oh, so it doesn't look like I have 2 of these left anymore. We might have used them all. Okay, so we'll use 2 of these so that they look kind of the same. And we're going to put those across here. So let's just see how this works. Alrighty. It's fun to go on the road, but it's also kind of a challenge to pack the things that you need and hope that what you forget is not critical, and then get everything undone once you get home and put away. All right, let me swing this around a little bit. So who crafted over the weekend? Anybody? Let's see. That looks pretty good. It moved a little bit there. Let's see if I can do the other one a little bit better. I got a little smudge up there, but that's okay because I'm gonna blend along here, I think. We'll see. Now, if I would have had the time, what I could have done is put some all-purpose liquid glue, the Tombow liquid glue, and let it set so it became translucent. And then I could have kind of turned this into a little sticker. And then it probably wouldn't shift on me. I'm getting more ink on my fingers, I think, than I am on the paper. But let's keep working it. I can always wash my fingers, right? Your Monday was great, Susan. Awesome. Perfect spring weather. You visited your mom. You did some gardening. Oh my goodness. productive. Oh, you've got a big market on Tuesday and Wednesday. So, like a market where you sell your crafting things or gardening things. Of course, if it's spring, you're probably too early to have any flowers or crops done, right? Oops, let's shift that back. Hopefully you folks can see. And maybe I'll try to zoom in just a little bit. Oh no, that's not my scrap paper. Ah! All right, let's flip this over. This was my scrap paper. I just, whoops. Hello, Yuta. How are you? Let's try this again. I did not want that to be that dark. Yeah. All right, well, let's try this again. I'll try not to dab on my, maybe I should go like, no, maybe I should go like this. I don't know. We'll see what will remind me not to dab my blending brush on my layer. And normally I do the circular motions, but I think I need to kind of do this to keep these little berries from moving too much. So all the teachers in your craft center make and sell their goodies, and the center keeps 10% for fundraising. Oh, how cool. And what kinds of things do you make? Cards or 3D items? A variety? Hopefully if people come and know that it's for fundraising, they're a little more generous in purchasing. I know sometimes around here, you just never know what they're going to be interested in buying, you know? I get a little dark smudge there, but we'll try to conceal that, or no, I just made it worse. We're going to work with it though, because there's going to be a label that's going to go over here. That one turned out better than the first one anyway. All right. Hey, Juju. What was I just, oh, you missed it. Where did it go? I thought the project that we did this morning at my little crafting thing that I was at, I thought you would like this little vintage girl. This is a piece of tissue paper that we did. We painted a coffee can with chalk paint. And then we did some Mod Podge. And then I'm not a glitter person, but my friend Jill had some glitter glue, and it looked really cute on the furry part of her outfit. So all my things are not put in here, so just make believe it looks gorgeous. But it's going to be really cute. It'll be super, super cute when we're done. When I'm done. Yeah, I don't know if Mac Man's awake still. He went up to bed a little bit ago. All right, let's try to get this done without me messing it up again. And again, I'm not too worried about that one because we're going to put a band across here if it works. We'll see. But I figured since I only had a few of these little sprigs left, that maybe using some ink blending would be fun to preserve them. I do so much better when I can do circular motions, but these stems are kind of fragile, so you gotta be careful. And I look like I got gangrene or something going on here. So Susan, you do a big variety: Christmas packs, notepads, tea bag and coffee. Oh, chocolate pouches, yummy. Shaker dome Santa ornaments, cute. Oh, you use this Stampin' Up! Domes. Cool. I still have some old ones from the, I don't know what, Christmas clutch or whatever those were. I don't even know. They were ones my mom had purchased and she never made the projects out of them, or she bought enough that she just didn't get through them all. And I've not done anything with them, unfortunately. I have them in my stash to sell. All right, so that turned out pretty good. So I'm going to try to do a little bit more blending here and try not to mess it up too much. And maybe it'll look like, I don't know, wintry, wispy greens. I don't know. Oh, a Santa hat on top of the dome. That sounds adorable. If you send me a message, I can post it on my Facebook stuff and we can all see it. It sounds adorable. All right, so that's it's a little random, but I actually kind of like the look. Where parts of it are a little darker. What do you think? I need to add, well, the belly band kind of is going to go across there, so we'll see. I'm trying to make sure that I don't get smudges from my fingers on here too. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to turn out, so you know, we're just kind of going with it. You've got a bunch of the jar domes. You need to find a use for them. I have the jar domes or jam domes because I've got, or some of the jam jars. That's what I have. I've got some of the jam jars from a few years ago. Like, I think I've got one package of 4 of those left. For those that are local to me, most the Monday open studio time, we're going to do a little Christmas gathering, and we'll see how many people are going to come for that, but I'll try to have some little goodies and maybe use up some of those fun past items that you can't get anymore. All right, I think I'm going to leave well enough alone with that. Maybe a little bit darker over here. I don't want to take away from any of the brightness there. So let me rinse my fingers. They fit the punch. Oh, yes, I remember those now. Yes, I remember those. I don't know if I still have that stamp set, and I had gotten the like the class kits of those to have a lot of them. All right, so let's see how this is going to turn out here. So let me close this up for right now, and let me find the Joy. Oh, we need the smaller one. We're going to cut this out. We're going to cut, I don't know if I smudged on there. You know, I wonder if it would be, I hope I don't ruin it. I'm thinking if we splatter a little bit of water on here, alcohol would have worked too. But I'm going to kind of let that sit. And I don't know if you can see what that does, but it adds, oh, you probably can't see. It lifts some of the ink off the paper, and then I'll take a tissue and dry off my desk, of course. Oh, there's the joy that I need. And I need that. And we're gonna just dab that off of there, and look at that speckle effect. Isn't that fun? Oh, Cheez-Its are some of my favorites. Although they've got bad dyes for us, right? So here's the side that I messed up because I dabbled off my blending brush. But, you know, it was all right because some of those were crooked anyway. Do you think I need more splatter than that, or do you think that's good? We'll leave it like that for right now. Let's move this stuff out of the way. All right, so let's go ahead and get that ready. And I'm gonna get some of the cherry cobbler. And I'm gonna cut this down. Some of my stuff is put away, some of it not so much. We're gonna keep this out for the joy because I think we'll do the joy in red. Hello, Linda Dickinson. Welcome. We'll get that ready. And then let's see. We're gonna cut a couple of these because we're gonna make it a band across here. And I'm not sure if we're gonna use the Mossy Meadow or if we're gonna do Old Olive. So let me pull some of each. I don't know if this will be the right size for a card base or not. 8.5. All right, so that'll work. I can cut that down if we decide to use that one. Or Mossy Meadow. So this is going to be the Mossy Meadow with some red or the cherry cobbler highlights. Or, and maybe I should go like that so you kind of have it right side up. Or, oh, the Old Olive I think is going to work. What do you think? Old Olive or Mossy Meadow? In the meantime, let's cut some of this out. I'm going to do this here, and this here. So you like the lighter green, the Old Olive? Let's get Bossy Bessie out here. My table today, while I was still out of town. Oh, you like them all together? I'll have to see if I can kind of make that work. Where was I? Joy. Oh, I guess I need plates. That'll help. Let's do Joy. And if I'm careful, I might be able to get 2 Joys out of there. We'll see. It was just a little scrap that I cut. Oh yes, look at that. I can get another one out of here. All right, and we might stack that somehow. We'll see. And then we've got this layer. I want all those pretty splatters in there because I really like how that looks. Layers and bling can never have too many, right? Although sometimes we just have to add more postage. And I think I'm actually going to save this because I could trim maybe just a little bit off of here and make that a frame for something. You ladies are with me. We don't want to get rid of stuff that we can use, right? All right, so there's that one. And then let's do the cherry cobbler. That was pretty close too. Let's see. Old Olive, Susan. All right, so that can go there. So the other thing I could do is, let me get this out of the way for right now. Yes, let's get this out of the way for right now. Bossy Gussie, I've missed you. I took my big one, I took my mini one, but I took my extra one. So those are still in a bin. Those are still not easily accessible because they're buried under stuff. All right, let's cut this into a card base. No, we're gonna cut this into a card base first. All right, so 5.5. I had such a good time. This weekend. It was just a good rest time. I mean, I was the last one in the room, obviously, during the late evenings when I came and did my lives with you gals. Oh boy. No bone folder handy. That's all right. We'll do this instead. Use what you got. All right. So there's that. And then this can go like so. And then what if we take, well, I'll cut this in size for a card base because I can save this and use that for a card base. But then if I take, that one's 3 3/4, and then, so I'm gonna go to here, 3 1/8. And then here we've got 5 and 4.5. So I'm going to go to 4 3/4. And what if we tried, because there is not an incremental postage layer for this one. Oh, I think that needs to be just a little bit smaller. So let's take like an 1/8 inch off on both sides. We'll just keep taking a little bit off and see how it looks. That's a little bit better. Let's take a little smidgen more off of there. That looks pretty good. And then we could set that behind there just to frame it. Woohoo, I like that. What do you think? The light, the dark, and then we could put it on here. What do you think of that combo? Does that work? So we'll have the base, the cherry cobbler, the garden or the mossy meadow, the white that we did with mossy meadow, but it looks like old olive. I think those layers kind of work. Yeah, I got a thumbs up. Cool. All right, so I'm done with these. Let's get these put back in here. And then we're going to add a little banner piece. Let's see here. I'm kind of casing a card from Stampin' Up. So let's just see if, all right, so they used this banner. Our background is very different, but they used this banner, and then obviously it's cut down. So I'll need to use this one because we're gonna make it so that it'll line up there. And then we're going to use, so instead of, like last night I was talking about using 2 of these to make like a belt in there. We're gonna do that in white, I think. Let me get another piece of white here. And we could even trim this down a little narrower, but we're gonna do, oh, I do need that back. So we're gonna do 2 of these. I'm just talking out loud. I'm still gonna need my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but I'm gonna do the little one because these will be small enough. They can go through there, the little one. So we'll bring little Betsy out. So I've ignored her for a couple of days. We'll get everybody back on track. Yes, I love those perennial postage dies. They're awesome. And don't forget, okay, a couple of the announcements that I couldn't find because they're still packed away somewhere. We've got November 25th. For those that are demonstrators, registration starts to go to Onstage, and that's in 3 different markets. So that's going to be in Long Beach, California, the end of March 2026. So that's an awesome convention. That's for demonstrators only. So then from the 25th to December 1st is the Black Friday sale. So there are going to be some things that are up to 40% off. And there's going to be some very fun things on sale. So I'm looking to snag some deals. I'm not going to say what products I've seen, but if you're a demonstrator, look at your happening now stuff, your announcements, you should see it. Let me get these little pieces off of here. All right, we need 2 of those. And then, so that goes to, the Black Friday sale is the first time Stampin' Up's ever done that. And that goes from November 25th until December 1st. And then on December 1st through the 9th, oh, I guess I need that again. Silly me. December 1st to the 9th, there is a Paper Pumpkin subscription promotion. And I think we'll pull out the big one again for this so I don't have to fight with it. So there will be, I believe, discounts on the Paper Pumpkin subscription. You will automatically get the December kit. So if you get a subscription, you can order those from me. For those that are in the United States or North America, United States, you can order from me. Or you can subscribe from me. Or if you're a demonstrator, subscribe from yourself, of course, so you get credit for the purchases / sales. And then you're going to get blends and cardstock. So there's a hint, people. All right, so that's good. Let's put this away now so I don't lose it. Let's get these out of the way again. So there are some things on that Black Friday sale that will be up to 40% off. Some things will just be, you know, like 25, 15, 10% off. But there are some good things that are going to be, I think, like 40% off. All right, so where was I? We've got this going. And some of this we're going to put up on dimensional. So I think maybe that whole cherry cobbler layer and above is going to be popped up. I think that'll look fun because that'll look like a postage, you know, a stamp on there. And I don't think I want it canted. We decided last night that some things that like this one, it's a little more classy, so it shouldn't be Kokolovich, right? And we're going to put this here. And then, oh, I'm going to need that little one out again. Then we're going to trim these to make a belt. I'm going to put a bow in here. We're going to put Joy on here. Let's see. Why did my computer time out? That's weird. All right, so maybe if we put this over a little further. Oh, I wouldn't have even had to cut those down because, oh yeah, I do. Because I'm still going to cut these with the perennial postage. So that'll be there. We'll put the Joy on there. And the little white belt on here, I think, is a good tie-in to where I used that mask. You know, I use these pieces as a mask. So I'm going to go ahead. What do I want to do? I need to mark very gently where I need the end of this to be. In fact, I'm going to flip this over because that'll be better. I can write on the back and just flip it over when I cut it, right? So if that's going to go there, I need to make sure I've got room for Joy. So if we go to like here, and then this one, I'll flip that over so I can write on the back. That's going to go like to here. Let's get little Betsy out again. Sorry for the back and forth, back and forth. All right, where did that little one go? And I think if we put these, I could glue these together and stack them up, or we could put, I wonder if we put a white one in between, if that would look good. Let's get a little scrappy piece and just try it. We don't have to use it. Let's do one more Joy. Get rid of that pencil. All right, and then we need, whew, that'll fit. All right, so here we're going to put this. I need the edge of the teeth right at that line. So I think that's pretty well centered. I probably shouldn't stress a whole lot, but I want it to look nice. Let's get a little bit of tape here. I should have brought over my bigger tape, but that's, I mean, I've got it packed in my bag somewhere. All right, so this is going to go here. I think that looks kind of centered. And I could have tried to do the other end on here at the same time, but I'm just afraid I'm going to mess it up. All right, so there's that one. Oh, and then I did it on the wrong side anyway. I forgot to flip it over. That's right. The joy's going on there. It won't matter. All right, and then this one, we're going to go, if I do it like this, because this side might be more visible. We'll do this one maybe the right way. So that's going to, oh no, that needs to go up there. All right, let's see. That's not quite centered. That's pretty good, I think. Hopefully this will look good. Keep your fingers crossed that this works. Whoops. Keep it straight. It's not quite centered, but it's going to have to be okay. It's just going to have to work. Now, we could always use this piece for something else, so I'm just going to pop that over there. All right. I think I'm done cutting unless I really messed it up. So let's do a little bit of joy here. Get the joy, 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 joy down in your heart, right? But then I need one more joy. No, that won't work. I think that'll look cute. It'll look like a little peppermint candy, kind of. We'll glue those together in a minute. And then here, bring all these pieces in. So if this is going to go here, this is going to go here. I should have done those together because we're off a little bit. So I'm just going to have to trim a little bit off of here once I glue these down. It'll be fine. And then this will go here. And of course, it's not cut small enough. I needed to go a little bit smaller, and it's off. Oh, best laid plans. So let's just start gluing for right now. So things don't move, and I can always fix things later, and I'll just kind of lay them out so that they look kind of what they're gonna look like, and then when I come back on next time, I'll show you the finished piece. Shift this up just a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty centered. And then we're going to just glue this on here. That's pretty good. Pretty close. All right, and then let's see. We're going to put this up on dimensionals. And we are using all the ends. I went through a lot of dimensionals over the weekend. And I'm not going to put any in the middle because that's where we'll put the joy. And that way we won't make it any thicker than necessary. Oh, and I didn't unpack my take your pick tools yet either, so let's try to get these going. See, I like to take your pick tool when I poke them off of here because then it gets all my debris stuck on that post and I don't have to try to pick up all the little pieces. All right, make sure we're opening the right way. I think that looks pretty good. And maybe rather than here, I think what I'm going to do, because lining up the teeth on this is kind of challenging. I mean, there's that, and then there's that. I think what I'm going to do is cut another one of these, but I'm going to take it to the, oh, I don't have my ruler either. I'm going to take it to the edge of our mossy meadow and we'll trim it that way. Let me get my pencil. So we'll go here. Because this mossy meadow is a straight edge, I think that's just going to look nicer. We can probably keep that tail, huh? We could probably keep those pieces. We might be able to do something with those, who knows? All right, so this, rather than having the jagged edges, we're just gonna take this all the way to that straight edge. And I'm gonna get the Mossy Meadow ink. What did I do with that? Here we go. And I'm going to add some green to these edges so that I don't have crazy white edges showing because this paper is white core. All right, so I think that'll look nicer. And then we're just going to glue that on there. It's coming together. You know, sometimes it doesn't seem like it, but it eventually comes together. I guess we'll go there because I left a little crazy edge of ink. Beauteous. And then this piece, then I could trim it straight. That'll work. Then I don't even have to waste that. I'll just trim that off there. Oh, Susan, do yes. Oh, you're not Linda, you're not a fan of the white edges either. All right, so Susan, tell us a good Stampin' Up! Story. All right, so this will go here. And this. Will go here. That's going to look better. Less hassle with trying to get those toothed edges straight. Here, I can get rid of those. I do not usually drink soda or pop wherever you're from. Just making sure that was going to fit. Because we could have also, if we didn't want the Joy, we could have cut this out here and seen the striped through there. But it's a little too narrow, so we're just going to go with our Joy, Joy, Joy. And let's see if I can use, I've got these little bottles that I found at the now $1.25, $1.50, $1.75 store. I found them when they were still $1. And you got a few in a package. Looks like I need to get a pin in there though. But I use my Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue in here. But I just like it that it's got a fine tip. So hopefully you're typing feverishly, Susan. All right, let's do this piece first, I guess. And I want to be careful. There are dashes in here, and I don't want the glue coming through all of the dashes. So you watch an Aussie demo on YouTube Weekly and chat away with the ladies. I found out that one of the ladies I've been talking to for ages lives in the next suburb. No way. Oh, how fun is that you met for coffee? How fun. What a small world, hey? That's great. All right. Well, this one's got the silicone cover on it. So if I leave it upside down and the glue is in here when I put the silicone cap back on, it usually doesn't get clogged. But when I have other people use my supplies, sometimes they don't put the caps on. So let's offset layer this. And then I'm going to put the glue on this one. Where I think we'll need it. We'll see if I messed it up. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome. That looks kind of fun. Hopefully you agree. And that's going to go on here. And I think I could probably put some adhesive strips on there. So let's go ahead and glue this. Oh, I can't glue it down because I need ribbon or I need twine. I have some old olive twine, or we've got this. All right, so this was an old olive and early espresso that came together. I could do a bow in the old olive, or we could do the golden white. I think might be pretty. What do you think? Hello, M. Bolt. Welcome. It's your first time here. Where are you coming from? Where are you watching from? And what's your first name? Maybe it's Emily. If you go by M. Bolt. Um, well, hopefully you'll come back. Feel free to subscribe. All right, so I'm just going to loop this through these, and then we'll glue this on. I can put the cap back on this. We'll make sure I got glue coming out of the end. Oh, thanks for the hearts, ladies. I just noticed those. All right, so this will go over to the straight edge. I think the straight edge is working a lot better for me. And then this piece, we'll put a little glue on here. Maria. All right, well, I wasn't even close with Emily. My second guess was going to be Mary, though, so I would have been closer with Mary. Welcome, Maria. Welcome, welcome. And what kind of crafter are you? Are you Stampin' Up? Are you Junk Journal with some of these other gals? Are you just a variety? Let's get that all the way to the edge. And then I need to so tonight, unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of collaboration, but Maria, just so you know, a lot of times I ask you who are watching, should we do this or that? And we kind of create together. And if you watched last night's video, this one was kind of funny. Everybody who was trying to guide me into making this one had me laughing, actually kind of belly laughing, because I couldn't understand the instructions. It was kind of funny. Partly because there's a little delay with my iPad and the comments, and partly because I just wasn't getting the instructions. Tonight I didn't do as much of that. I mean, we collaborated a little bit on the color, but feel free to comment, make suggestions. We'll give things a whirl. Don't feel bad if I haven't used what you've suggested, because it could be that I just didn't see the comment. I try to keep up on the comments without delaying things too long, but I am a putsy stamper. I do not like to rush through my projects. This is my relaxation time. And we usually make, like, tonight we're just going to do this one card because that's all I think my brain can handle today. So Maria, you scrapped 12 by 12 pages. Last year you got into cards. Well, cool, because a lot of the scrapbook layouts you can transfer into card layouts, right? And I'm doing kind of the opposite shift. I'm learning, I mean, from the cards, I'm doing some transfer into the scrapbooking world. And I don't know where my thing is for, oh, here. I don't want to lose these. And some of the layouts for the scrapbooking, or from the cards rather, work well with the scrapbook pages or memory keeping pages, or whatever, you know, people want to call theirs. So I actually did some of that over the weekend. I was at a little crafty girls getaway that a friend of mine coordinated. So it was fun. And Maria, where are you from? I don't think I saw that. All right, so you're from Canada. Awesome. I try to remember where everybody's from, but sometimes it's hard. Manitoba. All right. And since I am not very well versed on Canada and I need my atlas for a lot of things, what time zone are you in? Let's get some adhesive strips. Yeah, the more the merrier. We love extras. Feel free to subscribe, share, thumbs up on your way out anytime. I usually go live every night between 11 p.m. and midnight Central Time because I am in Wisconsin in the U.S. Usually it's closer to midnight, much to the dismay of my husband. But I, like my mother was, am a night owl. And I get more creative once, like, the television noise goes off and it's all quiet around the house. And then, you know, something like this morning, well, yesterday, because it's another day here. Last time, I didn't go to bed till 3 in the morning. So I actually got some good sleep. I got like 6.5 hours of sleep, which was a switch for me. And then I took a good nap this afternoon when I got home, or this evening after we took our granddaughter back to her mom. But yeah, I am late night Lori. All right, we are closing in on finishing this. A little bit busy, Lori. That's funny. I like being busy though, but you know, at least I don't have to work my full-time job anymore because I do not know how I fit a 50 to 60 hour work week in my day and still crafted. So I'm so glad I was able to retire. So I put in my time. I'm done. All right, I think we're good. Linda, you're a night owl too, but not creative late at night? I'm sure you're plenty creative, just maybe not late at night. And so normally I would use my take your pick tool, but since it's not unpacked yet, I have to find it. All right, so let's put this little puppy on here. And because it's a little bigger, this top piece is just that Joy sun, circle on there is just going to hang over the label. Isn't that cute? So we got an email from Stampin' Up. It might have been like an unboxing or something for the paper pumpkin, but they did a card very similar to this. So ours, of course, is different because I try not to copy things exactly the same. But this is cased, so copy and slightly edit is my MO. A lot of times, you know, if I'm not feeling particularly creative, it's not wrong to case things, right? All right, so here's what we used to do our little masking. We use these add-on dies from the Paper Pumpkin. Maria, you can get Paper Pumpkin in Canada, right? I think North America. I think all of North America can get Paper Pumpkin. So now we need to put some gems on here. And I'm thinking maybe they should be sparkly gems because this twine has shimmery gold in it. What do you think? So I think if we take, because I think these would just, I don't know, maybe those would be all right because of the way we've got the Joy layered here. I just didn't think those were going to be special enough. So let me see, let me get my alcohol blends. And we'll just color a few of these. Yeah, definitely some sparkle, right? Those are cute. And I need to use them. I bought 2 packages of them and then I forgot that I had them. But they worked out really cute on our gingerbread. In fact, I think I might need to add them to her. She could probably use some, right? Some of these little things. That's from a few nights ago. All right, so we'll do the dark. And we're just going to color these. Now, don't use regular markers for these, of course. The markers will just rub off. You can use alcohol blends, 6, 7. We'll see if 7's enough. We might need to do more. We'll see. Oh, and I do need to find, a take your pick tool because I really do find that I need that. Give me a second. Found one. I basically just have to put away all of my papers and then empty out my trunk. And then I'll be back in the saddle again. All right, so Maria, you do get paper pumpkins. So these were the add-on dies for October, November, December. I think they're still available. So if you don't have them, I love getting these add-on dies because there's something in there for each of the months in the quarter. And there's a lot of times a little tag. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need an odd number. Is that enough or do we need 2 more? I love this, you guys. Linda, definitely invest in the blends. Yeah, the markers are gone, but the blends are just so versatile because the blends, you have the bullet tip like a marker, all right? And it's alcohol, so it'll dry, but just be careful that you're not saturating because it might bleed into your paper. Linda, yeah, you always get the paper pumpkin add-ons, yeah. And then there's the brush end. Be careful that you don't scribble down like this because you will break the tip. And then it gets frayed and then you don't get a nice line. So I usually color using the side of mine, but a lot of times they'll kind of break down too because I like to flick. And maybe we should flick a little bit on here too because we did the water on here to make the watermark with the Mossy Meadow. But I don't want to have, well, it probably wouldn't matter if we get a little bit of flicking on the Joy. Let's try to tuck that up out the way. Oh, how fun. How fun is this? All right, what do you think? I will post a picture of this one on my Facebook page as well. And what I'll do on the inside is I'm going to put layers. So I'm going to put the cherry cobbler layer. I'm going to put a Mossy Meadow layer. And then I'll put a white layer inside. I will cut the perennial postage for the cherry cobbler. But I'll do the Mossy Meadow straight, just like this one is. And then I'll do the white for an inside note with the perennial postage. Flick it. You're right. You got to flick it, right? Can you see that with the little red cherry cobbler on there? All right, so I will post a picture of this to my Facebook page as well, which is Lori's Little Bit of Craftin', just like this. Although with YouTube, I think you can find me if you search Late Night Lori too. Probably starting December 1st, I am going to change my store name to latenightLori.stampinup.net because I think it's easier for people to spell than Macari because some people put 1 C and 2 R's. So I'm going to do a little shift in my name. So the store name. So that's going to come, I think, I'm going to shoot for December 1st. We'll see if I can get my act together and get my online stuff taken care of. All right. Ooh, I think this one needs some shimmer. So I'm going to add Wink of Stella, flicking on there. And I think this one could use some Wink of Stella in the berries. These little berries here. Sorry, I got sidetracked. You know, squirrel. Because this is one of the cards from last night. And my stomach is starting to growl, so I will need to have a snack before I go to bed. A little bit of shimmer never hurts, right? Fun, fun. I think that adds a little glam to that, and we'll put a little glitzy here too, I think. Shimmer is good. So I should just be finishing that card, but I kind of got distracted. And I always figure, oh, this won't take long. Oh, but I think that looks better. And then this one, thank you, Linda, if you're heading out. Have a good day. I'll add some shimmer flicking on here. And I usually try to go like diagonally across my palette here on my canvas, my artistic canvas. And we'll just put some shimmer on these as well. I think that's a step up from where we left it last night. I think that's a nice little addition. All right. There we go. Well, thank you all for stopping by to join me. I appreciate the company. And so these were the ones from last night. I will put these on my Facebook page again with a brighter picture. I will put this one on from tonight. How very different are these cards from the Paper Pumpkin sample of the boxes? Who knew it could be so versatile? All right. Very cool, hey? Very cool. All right, so thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate you stopping by. Feel free to share case these if you like to. When I put them on my Lori's Little Bit of Crafting on Facebook, feel free to comment there as well. And if you make something similar, or even if you make something very different, feel free to add a picture of yours in the comments. So Linda, your youngest son and family are flying in tomorrow, so you might be absent. Enjoy your time with the family. Are they coming in for Thanksgiving? Very fun. Enjoy your family time. All right, so good night, Maria. Good night, Linda and Susan and Donna and Juju and Yuta, if Yuta's still here. Bonnie, I almost didn't see Bonnie here. I think that might be everybody. If I missed you, I apologize. And for those of you watching and not commenting, thanks for stopping by. Feel free to join in next time. Happy crafting, everybody.